computer.
Hello.
You know. Stacy, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, I think in the interest of time, we just the team to maybe post on chat quickly so we can make progress.
That's in order. Thank you, William. So I will share my screen for the program, and we can start off with the keynote speaker. We do have Wabi Sherry from Soma Siri also present with us, and she will present shortly after that. And then I will invite William to walk us through the deck and questions on PSL that we are launching today. Thank you again for everyone who's joining. Be sure to invite your fellow teachers. Just 1 minute as I share my screen. Yes, thank you so much, Duncan. Everyone can drop the introduction in the chat. We're currently at 60. Thank you again for joining the call. Karibuni. Please introduce yourself in the chat. So today's program is very quick. 1.5 hours is actually very short for what we want to cover today. So if you can turn your attention to the screen, you'll note that we have the welcome keynote from Dr. Otundo, and then we'll have a quick PSL deep dive before moving into the assessment logistics, because we have had a few questions come in on how we plan to navigate this. We'll have a platform demo to at least walk you through any expectations in terms of the marks upload. So feel free to hold on to your questions or drop them in the chat during the presentations, and that way we'll be able to have a very smooth presentation and webinar. Then we do have a presentation from Soma Siri, represented by CEO and founder Wabi Sherry. She'll be able to walk us through the amazing work she's doing in EdTech and how she's also partnering with us through PSL to make this a reality for more of your schools. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce, or rather invite William to introduce Dr. Otundo and the topic for the day. Karibuni.
All right, thanks so much. Thanks, Stacy. Thanks for that wonderful introduction session. Today is a great day, and we have waited for it. We have planned, and this is going to be, I believe, the beginning of a wonderful journey in our schools. So we have our good friend, Dr. Otundo, who's worked with us as Kurasa. Daktari, are you there?
Yes, I am, William.
Fantastic. So Daktari actually needs no introduction for many of us. But for those of you who perhaps are hearing about Daktari. He's head of education at Riara, a CBC proponent, a long-time educator and a trainer of teachers, and I let him do the rest, and a good friend of ours, and we've known each other for quite a while. He's talking about math as a concept, which is something that we really need to hear about in this particular day, as we talk about math and compulsory and transition and kind of worries that we have. So we're looking at moving from problem identification to problem solving. And what a good moment to have Dr. Otundo and all of you, including our panelists, our partners participating in this noble event. Take it away, Doctor.
Good. Thank you. Can you hear me, William?
Yes, indeed, very clearly. We can also see you with the two monkeys.
Good. Yes, I love monkeys. It's my love. So yeah, those ones who are scared of monkeys, I love monkeys. Right. I am Dr. Julius Otundo. I teach at Riara University and HOD School of Education, and also head of professional development programs. But above all, I'm an educator, well-versed, more than 30 years of experience from basic to higher education. More about me, please use the search engine to get to know about Dr. Otundo. You can go to my LinkedIn profile. You can even ask AI, it will tell you. You can just ask AI to tell you something about myself. Thank you, William, for this. As a proponent of CBC, there have been a lot of worries and people asking about mathematics as compulsory and mathematics as not being compulsory. I look at mathematics in a different context, whether compulsory or not, but I want to demystify, first of all, the differentiation between the aspect of compulsory and not compulsory. Many times as a country, we have looked at mathematics as compulsory as an aspect of transition to the next level. And so I know of people who basically were not able to go and do their dream courses at the university just because they scored an E in mathematics or a D minus, but they still had an average grade for university entry. So they go into university and they pick on a course, like say they want to do a course in law. This lawyer has scored a B plus and he met the minimum threshold to do law, but scored a D minus in mathematics, and is told, you're not able to do law because you did not score a minimum of C in mathematics. I know of teachers of English and literature who basically needed to train in English and literature, who had desire to train in English and literature, needed to have scored a minimum of a C minus for you to be able to do. But these professionals have ended up going to do their courses outside. I know of great lawyers in this country who basically scored in mathematics, but they use mathematics as a concept of life. I know of William, please notify me if my internet goes slow. I'm in a place with a bit weaker internet at the moment.
Okay, you can proceed.
Still audible, William?
We are following.
Yeah, so I know of people who have succeeded and they use mathematics, but they scored E in mathematics. But they use mathematics as a concept, mathematics as a way of life. Do you know of your shopkeeper score in mathematics? Have you ever asked yourself what your nearest shopkeeper scored in mathematics? Have you ever asked yourself of the greatest retailer, that supermarket you walk into? Please find out the proprietor and how he scored in mathematics. But aren't they using mathematics to run their shops? Have you asked that saloonist of yours how she scored in mathematics? But is she using mathematics as a concept to do her saloon job? Have you ever asked of that great farmer next to your village? Who is the greatest farmer in your village, in your community? The greatest farmer I live in a place where farming is vast, and the greatest farmer in tea farming, in flower farming. Have you ever bothered to ask what they scored in mathematics at high school? And so this concept of believing that mathematics is about a score and is about topics is what we need to demystify. And before I even speak more about mathematics as a concept as opposed to being a subject, there is the aspect of us saying that because the government or the Ministry of Education or KICD is saying that mathematics is not compulsory, then mathematics should be thrown out of the door. No, it shouldn't. In fact, if you are a teacher of English and you cannot, you cannot track your learners to use mathematics as a concept, then we will be the contributors of looking at mathematics as a subject of transition. And so when we talk about mathematics not being compulsory, say at grade 10 to grade 12, it doesn't mean that mathematics is not important, but it just means even if you did mathematics and scored below expectation, that does not stop you from transiting to the next.
Sorry, you can
So
proceed.
that does not, so I say thank you. So that doesn't stop you from proceeding to the next level. So we need to be asking ourselves simply ordinary questions around looking at mathematics. When you look at mathematics as a subject, most of the time we focus on content and topics. When you look at it as a subject, we'll focus on content and focus on specific topics. And we will focus on, therefore, examining those topics. But when we look at mathematics as a concept, we will be focusing on thinking. And good people, have you ever asked who Elon Musk was as a literature student? Have you ever asked who Steve Jobs was? Were they mathematicians? And look at Elon Musk, a great engineer, but who used mathematics for critical thinking and problem solving, for logical thinking. So we are saying that in this century of today, we need to look at mathematics as a concept so that we focus on problem solving. And I love the theme, the Problem Solvers League. And so even if you get into this league, into the context, you don't look at mathematics as a way of passing an exam. I know, William, you said you came top. You came top in a contest of mathematics. Possibly it was a paper you were given and you did very well. But you have thought another approach to it where you're looking at mathematics of a concept of problem solving and critical thinking. And therefore, people like Elon Musk used mathematics as a concept and not as a subject of transition. And that is why he was able to discover what he discovered. Did we know that artificial intelligence, for example, the one everybody's talking about today, started being in existence in the 1940s, early 1940s? Do we always keep assuming that AI came the other day? AI just reached us recently ourselves, but AI has been there from 1940s. And that is why the external world or the Western world advances very fast. But do you know the concept of AI was a concept of critical thinking and problem solving arising from the concept of mathematics? It was not a concept arising from computing science. It was a concept that arose from logistics in mathematics. And that is how AI came by. Today, everyone is talking about AI. But in early 1940s, as it started to take root, it was a concept within which logical thinking and problem solving. When we look at mathematics as a subject. We emphasize on teaching. We emphasize on mathematics as a taught subject. But we are saying, can we emphasize on mathematics as an understanding subject, an application subject, and a subject of exploration? Because if you look at mathematics as a subject of exploration, not a subject, but sorry, a concept of exploration, then you will apply mathematics in everyday life. And that is why I ask you, go and ask your immediate shopkeeper how he scored in mathematics. Possibly some of those shopkeepers, the largest shopkeepers you have next to you, the one as an employee, as you wait for a salary, you go and ask for money, you go and ask for bread to be given on credit. And he's able to give you on credit. But that person, if you ask him, possibly only did mathematics and even dropped out of school in as early as grade 4. So we need to ask ourselves in such a question, what is it that he's using today? He's using the concept of mathematics, not the subject of mathematics. He's using the concept. And so we use concepts of mathematics for exploration and application. Did we know that even the best scientists in the world have used mathematics as a concept, not as a subject? Please look for this herbalist in your village and ask him the concept he uses when he's mixing different herbals to make the herbal, even before it goes to the laboratory, the concept of mathematics has been applied. Did you know that farmer, the local farmer in your village, who does the animal farming, and he goes into milking his cows and is able to go and sell 20 liters of milk using the concept of mathematics by counting the number of liters he has gotten from each animal, but not using the mathematics as a subject. So teachers or educators of mathematics from basic to higher education, I beseech you that we do not need to teach mathematics for memorization. When mathematics is taught for memorization, then we lose its aspect of conceptualization. So we need to teach mathematics for application, exploration, and design thinking. Mathematics is normally seen as a subject. It is seen as a standalone. But did you know that mathematics applies in every area? And so mathematics as a concept is supposed to be interconnected and create an interdisciplinary design thinking. And that is why Elon Musk, a literature student, one of the greatest discoverers of, one of the greatest discoverers of the area of engineering. And so we need to look at the mathematics for interconnection. Did we know that Isaac Newton, while in meditation, and Isaac Newton was a student who lived who was differently able. Isaac Newton did not put himself strategically under a tree to have the mangoes fall. But Isaac Newton, in his research, he sat down to take a rest. Did you know that before he discovers the force of gravity, he had counted the number of mangoes that had fallen next to him when he sat next to that tree? Those are some of the things that we do not know. We look at the discovery of the force of gravity as just a discovery, but we're asking, he first asked himself, how many mangoes are these that have fallen? Did Isaac Newton go to a class that taught him mathematics? If we had a chance to ask ourselves more about Isaac Newton, he did not go through that because he learned mathematics for design thinking, critical thinking, and solving. So we need to look at mathematics as an interconnected concept as opposed to just as a subject. When mathematics is assessed as a subject, it is assessed as a test item. And I will repeat, when mathematics is assessed as a subject, it is assessed as a test item. But when mathematics is looked at as a concept, it is assessed as a project, real life application and exploration. Did we know that all the projects that exist today is as a result of the mathematical concept? And so, as teachers or educators of mathematics, is it possible that we would avoid assessing mathematics as a test item, as a question that need answers, into bringing mathematics as a project for design thinking and problem solving. And therefore, as teachers, mathematics is a way of thinking, not a way of answering questions. It is not about getting the questions right, but it's about the way of thinking. Did we know that even for people who lived longer than us, who had more wives, who never stepped in our classrooms, and had 101 grandchildren, Aguku Denja in Nyanza, Baraza wa Munyonyi in Bungoma, people who lived with the highest number of wives, to the extent that you had to bring a calculator in the modern days to count the number of grandchildren they had. And if you put the wives and the children and the grandchildren together, then the modern person learning mathematics as a subject was going to count in numbers using a calculator. Did we know that people like Aguku Denja, Baraza wa Munyonyi, could count their children and grandchildren, and they never stepped in a classroom because they used mathematics as a concept and used their children and grandchildren as concrete objects, and they simply used them as concrete objects, not as subjects of assessment. And at that particular time, therefore, it was their way of life. And no one would cheat Aguku Denja of the children. He knew his number of children and grandchildren. Good people, that is mathematics as a way of life. That shopkeeper next to you is mathematics as a way of life. That Mama Mboga, bother asking her how she scored. You go to her and buy from her, and she will give you right change. She never uses a calculator. She never speaks English. If you ask her, when did you leave school? She says, I don't even remember, but I know when I left Form 4, my worst subject was mathematics. Has she ever given you wrong change? Is there a time you've gone to a Mamboga? And I'm not trying to mean, did you know the mechanic who repairs your car is a technical thinker, creative thinker? Could you have time and just ask, what did you score in mathematics? But did you know that he uses the concept of mathematics to solve the problem of your car? Mathematics is supposed to be looked at as a language. And when it's looked as a language of patterns and relationships, it is that concept that engineers use, mathematics as a language of patterns and of relationships that could have Internet of Things connecting to make one particular object. And therefore, the issues of sequence is as a result of mathematics as pattern and relationship, a language of pattern and relationship. So, could we speak mathematics as a language and avoid looking at mathematics as a subject of transition? Why should you worry? What would it that will be our worry if mathematics continued to be what is it that we should always worry about? Mathematics should never be continued to be a subject of transition, because anybody who has transited to the next level, the best businessman, the best engineer, is not because mathematics was a subject of transition and a subject of animals. Did we know that mathematics, therefore, is supposed to be used for tool making and decision making? That is where personal finances come in. My mother is literally close to 100 years old. My mother did not go to school, not even class 1, not even PP1. There was no PP1 then. My mother, at her age, she still budgets for her money. Recently, this year, she asked me to buy her smartphone, and she budgets for her money. She pays the workers and says, this is what is going to be spent on the farm. She is using mathematics as a concept of life and decision making. Did we know that mathematics is supposed to be used as a vehicle of exploration? And I explained that earlier, to create curiosity. And that curiosity is what leads to open-mindedness, what leads into what we call creation of new things for life. Because without mathematics as a concept, life is boring. But without mathematics as a subject, life is still very, very inspiring. I will repeat, without mathematics as a concept, life will be boring. But without mathematics as a subject, life will be very inspiring. We are not going to fail people because they are not doing mathematics as a subject. And so let us embrace mathematics as a way of life, not as a subject for going to the next level. So when we say that mathematics is in real life and in real world conceptualization, and when we say that we need to pause and not make mathematics as compulsory in the aspect of assessment, that is it. A teacher or a person who wants to do something in creative art can interestingly take up mathematics by choice as a concept, as a subject, but cannot fail to take up mathematics as a choice in the regarding it being a concept. So as I conclude, few take points for our teachers to promote. Use real life applications and cross-curricular links when you're handling mathematics as a concept. I will repeat that. Use real world application and cross-curricular links when you are facilitating mathematics as a concept. If we say students are not interested in mathematics as a subject, don't worry. The worry you should have is, how are you facilitating it? Are you using real life examples? Are you using it as interconnected? Are you creating it as interconnectedness? Did you know that any connection that exists in the world is as a result of the mathematics as a concept? Encourage conceptual discussions as teachers around mathematics as a concept. Pose challenging problems that lead to decision making. And I am certain what the Problem Solvers League is all about is to pose challenging problems to be solved by mathematicians, by people who do not call themselves mathematics, but who look at mathematics as a concept. Embrace mistakes. We need to embrace mistakes as a concept of mathematics in learning and exploration. When to the Christians, the Bible says that you shall forgive 70 times 7. I have no idea. Maybe I'm right, I'm wrong. I'm not very good sometimes in that area. But if it says that, that is a concept of understanding mistakes as a concept of real life surrounding mathematics concepts. Let us therefore allow our students to construct knowledge through guided discovery of mathematics as a concept. Whether you are an educator of English, you are an educator of social studies, you are an educator of creative art, you are an educator of performing art, let us look at, let us embrace our students and inspire them to construct knowledge through guided discovery using the concept of mathematics, not mathematics as a subject. Back to you, William.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I feel quite inspired, particularly in terms of the application of mathematics in life. And that's also what we are proponents of, math for life. What is math for life? Math that you apply on a day-to-day basis. Today I'm going to ask my shopkeeper what they scored in math. But even as I do that, a local supermarket, renowned supermarket, I saw this in a supermarket, and I'm posing this as a real-life application question. So they have a value pack that has 200 paper serviettes, and the 100 paper serviettes is down there. Quickly on the chart, which of the two will you buy? Which one is value for money? And this is what the learned supermarkets are doing for us. The supermarkets with learned people in the back. I'm just checking in the chat. Which of these two options is value for money. Can you see this? Let's check them. Yeah. Yeah, buying 2 individual packs. You can imagine. They put that and they call it value pack. And they're convincing you to buy the bigger pack at more when you're supposed to be buying more for less. So this is just an interlude. I wanted just to bring this to your attention just so you see the reality of how you lose your money simply because somebody is convincing you with promotions. And this is both English and mathematics, because the English that says new value pack is what you look at. So I think now we want to welcome our partner, our esteemed partner from Soma Siri, wonderful name, and they say Soma Siri Afrika with a K. Welcome, Wabi, are you there? Let's see your face. You can. Wow, there she is. Karibu sana. Take it away. I've known Wabi for quite a while. We were together in MasterCard Foundation. The two companies are part of cohort 2. And wonderful partner and very, very instrumental in extracurricular activities, emotional learning. So I'm just checking. I hope you're able to.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay, take it away. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. This has been really exciting so far. I'm wondering if I'm feeling like this, how is everybody else feeling? It's quite amazing. Maybe you can put a thumbs up in the chat. Kurasa, congratulations on organizing this for us, starting with William, of course, Stacy, she's done a good job. But Dr. Otundo, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, I can see the thumbs up. Dr. Otundo, one would think that we had spoken before this, but just to everybody else, we hadn't spoken. William, I hope it's okay if I share my screen. And please confirm if you can see it.
Yes, sure. Very clear.
All right, thank you so much. So, let me first introduce Soma Siri Afrika before I go into the Problem Solvers League, which I am really excited to partner with Kurasa towards this great vision of problem solvers. Because first and foremost, I had William saying that he participated in a math contest. Now, my math contest was the opposite. From class 5 to class 7, my maths teacher sent me out of class, kicked me out of class. I don't know how many of you can relate. I was told, nikiingia, unatoka. And the main reason was because I was very, very, very curious. And during our time, of course, if you ask too many questions in the classroom, it was quite annoying. You're becoming a distraction and unajifanya mjuaji sana. So between class 5 to class 7, I actually didn't do mathematics, which was crazy because I would still do the exams. And I would still be at the top of the class, which was also crazy. So it made them get even more upset with me until I moved to another school, which I'm sure is a partner of Kurasa, so I'll just mention it. I moved to Mountain View School. That was in my class 8. And believe it or not, in that 1 year of my class 8, I had an amazing maths teacher. His name was Mr. Kingori. He's still a maths teacher. I think he works at Riara right now. I'm not sure. But Mr. Kingori changed my life. Within that 1 year, by the end of that 1 year, I was the top student in Kasarani cluster in mathematics specifically in KCPE. Now, to me, that was a crazy story because between class 5 to class 7, I didn't do maths, and the maths teacher totally did not like me. And then just a few months later, my life absolutely changed. And you see, it's a reality of my life changing because it means I got to go to my dream school. I got to finish my schooling and all that. And reflecting back, and when I started Soma Siri Afrika, I realized Mr. Kingori did truly change my life, and not because he taught me maths as a subject, but there's a way that he was able to combine maths with what I loved. I loved music so much. And so he used to make me do the maths with the music. His favorite musician was Ruben Kigame. And isn't that what we are talking about here today? Maths as a concept and not a subject, that you can actually transform somebody's mind. And I was listening to Dr. Otundo and I was like, my goodness, this is what I dream about. This is my passion. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Otundo. So Soma Siri Afrika was created to do just that. Our tagline is actually preparing problem solvers for Africa. And when I was thinking about Soma Siri Afrika, it was because I used to do clubs in schools, and we used to teach different clubs, let's say coding club, music club, French teachers, those teachers who normally come at 2 p.m. to your schools. I was one of those teachers. And I just asked myself, what impact am I actually creating? Fine, I've taught a child how to play music, or I've taught a child to speak French or Chinese. But at the end of it all, are they able to use it to solve a problem? Ama, they can just play during closing day. Their job is just to play and to be clapped for, but then they will join the workforce and will still be jobless, just like a majority of us who have many skills, but those things don't translate into real life opportunities. So that's what Soma Siri Afrika is all about. Just confirm that you can still see just confirm to me which screen you're seeing.
Sure, loud and clear. We are seeing where you're scrolling.
You're seeing where I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not where I wanted you to see, but that's okay. All right. You're good now?
Yeah, excellent.
All right. Thank you. Thank you also, Chamos. I can see you nodding. Thank you for that. All right. So yeah, maths as a mindset for life is basically what my introduction was all about. And this is what we do at Soma Siri Afrika. We transform the co-curricular experience, the clubs and everything. And we do this in partnership with partners like Kurasa, who do an amazing job in the academics side, so that we combine this and make sure that club time is not wasted time, and that everything that they're doing in the classroom is translated to the time when they're doing their clubs. So like you can see in this photograph, we have kids, and basically what they're doing is that they're pitching their solution, which was a security solution. During this pitching, before they do the pitch, of course, they have to learn design thinking for innovation, which is something I had Dr. Otundo put it so poignantly, so I won't go much into that. But for us at Soma Siri, we have been huge on making sure that, first of all, we are an Afrocentric innovation incubator. That's what we call ourselves. An incubator, kama ile tu ya mayai, the way you put the eggs inside and you create the correct environment so that hili yai liki, I'm hoping there's no Kiswahili teacher, so that haya mayai yaki hatch, they will be perfect. And we do this for young people, children and young people between the ages of 4 to 24, where we use technology and psychology, which is what I did, to identify talent. And our passion point is actually multiple intelligences. And I realized Dr. Otundo was speaking about math through the lens of multiple intelligences, which is what Soma Siri Afrika is big on. And I know Kurasa, because of CBC as well, we are huge supporters and proponents of the multiple intelligence theory. And we use this to support the nurturing of these children through personalized learning pathways, particularly in the co-curricular space, so that we can ensure that our learners, we call them Siri solvers, that they're able to understand and utilize design thinking for innovation to implement their ideas as solutions for impactful community-rooted solutions. So basically, this is what we do at Soma Siri Afrika. And the main question that we were asking ourselves was if problems are actually opportunities, which is what everybody tells us in business school. If you want to solve a problem, I mean, if you want to make money, tafuta mahali shida ziko and solve those problems, then isn't Africa the real land of opportunities? So why should our children be looking to go abroad? Sijui, all this drama with people looking for jobs in the Middle East. We have the most problems on this continent. So definitely, Problem Solvers League is what we need. And thank you so much, William and Kurasa, the whole team at Kurasa, for making sure that this comes to reality, because it's a serious issue and we need a Problem Solvers League. So as I was thinking about maths as a concept, I was asking, what if we were teaching maths not just through formulas? And it's something I actually had Dr. Otundo saying, so I know I feel like I'm repeating his words. But not just through formulas, but also through patterns, puzzles, and real life problems. And I've put an image here of Soma Siri Afrika dancing, because yesterday, as I was training some ex-candidates who we have here in the program, we were training them in design thinking, but we started with logical mathematical thinking. And with logical mathematical reasoning, we were starting with coding and chess. And actually, I know they were expecting me to start telling them, oh, turn on your laptops, it's time for us to do some Python, some mathematics. But I actually told them we're going to code the dance for Anguka Nayo. And I knew that really confused them and it took them aback. And yes, when in Anguka Nayo, there's a place they say one lege. So there's a certain turn that should be made there. And they had to tell me there's an x-axis and a y-axis. How will this person turn and do that one leg? And it was so hilarious to them. And I believe that's how we can train them to think of maths not as a subject, because when you think of it as just formula, it's not real life. But once you tell them to do something that they actually love, just like Mr. Kingori did for me, then you start to see the shift in how they think of it. And we as educators as well, we change our mindset, not just thinking of it, oh my goodness, imetolewa sasa, but realizing maths is in every single thing we do. Maths is not just numbers. It's a language of patterns. It's how we think. It's the engine of problem solvers. And in everyday life, of course, we use it. I'm not going to go into this because Dr. Otundo has done it so well. And for us, we'd love kids and young people to see themselves as math explorers, not students of a subject. And we believe in transdisciplinary learning. I know in CBC, we are thinking of it as interdisciplinary. With Soma Siri Afrika, we do it in a transdisciplinary way. So even through the clubs that they're doing, be it dance club, be it chess club, we make sure that in everything they're learning problem solving because they are explorers of mathematical thinking. So basically, if you're also interested in knowing more about what we do with Soma Siri Afrika, since Kurasa has given us this opportunity to speak, it would be unwise of me not to tell you that we have an app, that you can use in your schools to transform those clubs and co-curricular activities into future readiness hubs. We have different packages, one of which includes a Kurasa package. So you can get in touch with Kurasa through William or Stacy, and they will let you know more about how we work together as Soma Siri Afrika. So basically, we normally have the levels, which is WASI level, where they get first to do the assessment of their multiple intelligences, just to allow them to explore every single club. And then after that, they go into the different mastery levels. And at each level to graduate, they must solve a real life problem, like in the initial picture which you saw. And that means that mathematics becomes not just a subject, but a concept. So allow me to stop there. As I say, let's build a league of thinkers, dreamers, and doers who use mathematics, not just to calculate, but to create. That's what the Problem Solvers League is all about. Thank you so much. And thank you, William, for the opportunity.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I was very, very privileged to have met Bobby, and even more privileged to learn that she's my neighbor, not so far from where I live, and the kind of work that they're doing, and the ambition. She didn't say this, but Soma Siri is on a mission to create 100 million problem solvers in Africa. 100 million. I mean, that's a combined population of Kenya and Uganda, and maybe you add Rwanda. But now all over Africa, she's part of the MasterCard Foundation Fellowship, EdTech Fellowship, and so that means there is a lot more exposure, not just to Kenya, but elsewhere. And this is one company to watch, and we are very, very proud to have them as our partners. And obviously representing all our other partners who have helped us to put this together. We also have Gravity CBC. I would like to give Gravity a minute. I believe many of you have had the chance to visit Gravity. And Gravity have an AI center, which is really amazing. And you know, AI is the present, not just the future. I don't know, Duncan, sir, are you there? Someone is on the Gravity.
Hello.
Yes, Duncan, is that you?
Yeah, it's me here.
Thank you, thank you. It's great to have you. If we could see you, that would be nice. But if not, you can just proceed and talk about Gravity and your participation, and also mathematics, and how how we are doing this together.
Well, thank you so much, and everybody.
Yeah, you can proceed. Yes.
Yeah. Of course, we believe that it's going to transform or shake the benchmark of delivery of learning, in where we'll be going towards gamification of learning and virtual experiential learning. So, like the branch we have in Langata, we tried to actually the same, just to give an opportunity for our learners, for the people to just have a glimpse of how AI is going to transform the way delivery of learning is done. Thanks so much, Kakari, for that great insight. Thinking of mathematics basically is a concept to the subject, and then personally, I also feel I think we've actually like overemphasized that people. The learners in grade 9 who do not choose mathematics will be disadvantaged in life. I don't think that's the truth. Personally, I also looked at even the content of what these learners have learned, or what the skills that they have obtained in their learning process of mathematics, and I realized even in terms of even coverage itself, we covered like almost the equivalent to our old system from 3 of what the learners would have covered with the older system. H for fall, the same probably. So I think for me, I would be looking at other than saying these learners they are missing so much, or they have not, covered enough of mathematics. I would be looking at the first principle of CBC is the opportunity. That probably if the learners are able to be given more variety. I mean, they are able to choose what more learning areas. It gives them, learners more opportunity. And I probably would think even not just mathematics, if probably general science was also incorporated as an extra subject that maybe learners could, even if you're in art and sports science, you can as well do general science. That would give learners more opportunity. So I think we have over-exaggerated the issue that the fact that mathematics is not. First, I don't believe, even if mathematics was to be compulsory, then it is just general mathematics. And I can give an experience, like in Australia, where I brought up my children, they have math A, math B, and math C. So a learner will say, I don't actually need math. For what I want to be in life, I don't need math A. And instead of getting a B minus in math A, I better just do math B and get a B. So, I mean, because you don't need math A for what you want to be in life. So why should you be pressured that you have to do exactly what everybody is doing? So I think and the first principle of CBC is flexibility. So we should give our learners the flexibility, the ease, so that they become what they want, what they want to be in life, without putting a lot of pressure and also putting a lot of anxiety, as if, I mean, and like what is the practical real life, or what we like Daktari was really going through, and just reminding us that there are so many people who have done well, not necessarily because they need a lot of curriculum, because they use mathematics as just a concept of a way of life. So I think that's my input, and I thank you so much. Those who have not been to the center, Gravity, we want to welcome you. Come and see how we have simplified learning, how we have made learning enjoyable, and even imparting the right attitude. Thank you so much, William, and everybody else.
Sawa. Thank you so much. I believe we were able to follow despite a bit of lack of. There's a part that was a bit unclear, but thank you so much, Duncan, and we are very, very pleased to be your partners. So this is a stat that I shared about 50% scoring grade D and E. And quite frankly, this is the whole, this is the main topic that we get to discuss. But we don't get to discuss how much, like Wabi said, we have a lot of problems and we have very little solvers. And the strange thing is, even those learners who finish, go to university, score A, they still have to go through a lot of recalibration to be able to fit into the market, because of the same thing that we're talking about, problem solving. We have people who fail mathematics, people who pass mathematics. But what we want is people who can solve problems, whether they got whichever grades or they attained whatever levels of attainment in their examination. And so PSL is coming in to create a solution around this. Very importantly, this is supposed to be a community of teachers, where teachers are able to come together, learn from each other, draw practice, and go back and implement and learn, as they implement. So this is a deliberate effort for us to keep improving from where we are. So the PSL is a league, and this is inspired by a lot of reading that we have done from the Uwezo Usawa Agenda report on numeracy, where they say that students are getting to grade 5 and half of them cannot you know, do not have the understanding of grade 2 level numeracy skills. You know, this is in terms of addition, subtraction of up to two digits. And place value, again, is a challenge at that point. We were privileged to be part of that launch. And all these discussions around mathematics being optional or not, again, it's centered around examination. It's centered around passing or failing examination. And this is what we hope we are able to change. And in our article around mathematics for everyone, we described 3 possibilities, where we have mathematics for life for all students, you know, budgeting, day-to-day living. We have mathematics for impact, how mathematics comes to play in arts, in humanities, in dance, like you had Wabi, how it comes into play. And then there's mathematics for innovation. So this is deep mathematics, calculus, integration, differentiation, and so on and so forth. And this is also very critical because as a country, we have described this as, you know, 65% of transition, and that's what we want to see. So how do we ensure that we have a strong mathematical practice, at least for the 65% who are already destined for STEM, and then we can now have mathematics scaling down to, you know, all the other practices. And remember, it's not optional at the junior school. And so the optional thinking is the problem. It's not, it's the problem because it means a student at grade 6 who is already believing that they will not require mathematics already shuts themselves to grade 7, 8, and 9, which is already in their curriculum and will still affect their day-to-day lives, whatever curricula, whatever options that they choose. So the PSL is a national initiative. We've been very privileged to partner with the Kenya heads of Kenya Primary School Head Teachers Associations. We're also with a memorandum of understanding with the private schools, Kenya Private Schools Associations. And so this is an initiative to transform how mathematics is perceived. One, how it is taught and how it is assessed. So please note that the first problem is how it is perceived, because in most classrooms, mathematics, the attitude itself is lacking. And as Wabi was talking about her math breakthrough, you know, early enough. I remembered mine when I was in a public school near Kahawa. It's called Kahawa Garrison. And one day, just my mother promised me that she's going to give me 1,000 shillings if I score 100 in math. And believe you me, I scored 100 in math. She couldn't believe it. She couldn't give me also the money. I think she thought it's too much money. So she bought me a shoe. But that's again where I thought that, and that's where I got the spark that actually this is possible. And so you see the value of having small rewards or rewards in mathematics and how it can just change the attitude of learners and how that changes in their lives. And like I said, I joined university courtesy of a mathematics contest, which was organized at Alliance Girls. And I was privileged to talk at that conference and at that contest. And what then happens is I joined Strathmore University in 2010 without even knowing what my Form 4 results were. And it was on scholarship. And so this is something that transformed my life. I'm a personal believer of it. And I'm living to see a day when mathematics is going to be something that children love, something that people look forward to, and something that is very much applied in life. Recently, I mentioned the word coefficient in a conversation and it sounded like a PhD thesis. And, you know, these are things that apply in life. You know, there's even a coefficient of political trouble, you know. Basically, just that means how prevalent, you know, what is in an equation, what is K? You know, K is the constant value. So when you multiply K by the number, you're able to get a particular outcome. So basically, these are things that we should be able to see and apply in life easily, in music and in everything. So our mission is a nation where every learner sees mathematics as a life skill, exciting and essential for building Kenya's future. So I've already talked about our 65% STEM transition. And so now I want to quickly move into how PSL is going to apply and how you're going to participate in PSL. But for teachers, these are the benefits that we are looking to offer. So this is both for teachers and schools. We want to be able to give you challenges that are CBC aligned. So these are not, don't look at them as exams. You can administer them in place of your exams, and we will be proposing that we will be giving you a paper that you will administer as your end of term exam in term 2. But this is going to be a purely and well-structured CBC aligned paper that will be testing problem-solving skills in mathematics. So this is something that is very, very important for you to note, that this is a mathematics paper with a difference. And I'll show you when it comes to reporting, what kind of reports you will see. So this is also going to be a membership into the PSL League. So we are going to treat members, schools and teachers and learners who join PSL, this particular cohort, as now members of the PSL League. And in future, we have conference for teachers, for the mathematics teachers, expos, and this is also an opportunity to be part of this movement. We want to future-proof your students, so we want to give them a strong foundation. We're doing this from grade 6 to grade 9. So these are the 4 grades. And this is due to public demand. We did one last year for grade 8, and the schools really insisted that we need to offer the same at the lower grades. So we'll have the opportunity to invite you to a contest. We have not yet put a date, but this is just a registration opportunity, and I will show you the benefit of registering for this particular PSL activity. We'll have certificates, and we'll have comprehensive reports for all learners. We'll also be giving you toolkits. As we begin the term, we'll give you guidelines on how you can go about teaching, how you can go about improving the attitude of your learners. So it's not like we're just giving you a paper that you will wait for. So we will be in touch with you. We will engage with you as we begin the term and throughout the term. So these are the deadlines. So PSL is, you register by USSD, and I'll jump onto that a bit later. But June 1 will be the latest that a school can indicate their intention to be part of PSL. And then we'll deliver the physical tool, or the physical assessment. We will deliver it on or before around 14th July. And we hope that this is something that you can do between 18th and 22nd of July. And we'll also give you some time to upload and receive the certificates by 8th of August. So this is a purely term 2 exercise. And we'll deliver the assessments, marking schemes, supervision protocols, and upload guides. All this will be physically delivered to your schools. So there will be no additional fee for delivery. So I put together an FAQ. So who can participate? This is for grade 6. Please note 6, 7, 8, and 9 for public and private. So all schools are eligible. Grade 6, 7, and 8. This is also including the equivalent of this at international curriculum. So we are targeting about 500,000 learners who are going to be sitting, and we have a high quality expert panel that has been created, and Stacey will be talking about that. The cost is 110 shillings per learner. It will be done in the schools, and like I said, schools will receive marking schemes, assessments, supervision protocols, and upload guides. So these are just some of the schools that participated in our PSL activity. Last year, we had over 400 learners, and it was highly successful. So we are hoping that this year, when we are organizing one in August, the physical one, then we will have the opportunity to invite the schools that will have participated. But also remember, this is going to only be for schools that are member schools of PSL. So I believe you had the opportunity of briefly watching the paper and seeing how students were excited, how, also teachers learned a lot from this paper. I believe we might be having some of them here. I saw a teacher from Magadi Soda School. Most welcome to participate again in this year's edition. So I think I already mentioned this. So we have a WhatsApp channel, and I'm just going to share this on the chat just so you can follow. And before I conclude, I'd like to share how a report will look like, just for your benefit. And doing that right away. So this is, we have designed this, this is pure IP of Kurasa. It's the first of its kind. It's supposed to be very comprehensive. So every learner will receive a report to this nature of, and we'll also send you the sample once you register.
William, please share your screen.
Okay. I hope you can see it now. So just like your usual reports, it will have a learner information. So this is PSL report. So for the term, you will be issuing your usual reports, but we'll give you an additional report that you can give to the learner and the parent. And this is where the benchmark is going to be important. So the learner will see their school average. They will see their performance as 78 and the national average as 74. So you can see this learner is above national average and above school average. And then we have a competency report. So this competency report is showing you again where you have performed. So in the test, it has encoded critical thinking in the workings of the question, and we'll be able to analyze what is the scores that the learners score in critical thinking. So it's 75. Problem solving 80. And we are showing you how this is in relation to the national average. Again, creativity, communication, digital literacy, learning to learn, and self-efficacy. So all this is encoded into the assessment test, and we will be sending you instructions on how to, how to decode this information. And then we'll also give you a question-by-question breakdown to show you what are the actual concepts, which is basically found under the learning outcomes. So learning outcomes are actually core concepts, and that's pretty much what we're talking about. Like, how do you apply fractions in real life situations? So we let the learner know. So this is what they scored, and this is partial understanding. And again, we will show them also the national, how is the national performing and how is the school performing. So this is not really a ranked paper where you will see your school is number 1 or number 5 or number 15 or what. We will just be showing you the relative position based on a national average. And that's the far that we will go. Then we'll give you insights and areas for development and suggested next steps. So a similar report will be availed for the school, so that, and for the class. So if you have a class, let's say grade 5, we'll give you, grade 6, we'll give you 1. We'll give you 1 for grade 7, 1 for grade 8, and 1 for grade 9. Even if you have a cohort, let's call it streams, we are able to separate these reports for you, just so you can know how you're going to approach each and every class. So we have factored comprehensive reporting for schools that participate. And again, like I said, it's not for public schools, it's not for private schools, it's for all learners. And that is what we have factored. I think I'll leave it at that and take it back to Stacy to guide us on the next steps. I think we might be having a demo on how to register. Thank you, and back to you, Stacy.
Thank you so much for that. Maybe everyone can just use the reaction emojis for us to acknowledge. I can see we are still quite a number on the call. So I just want to check if we can do the demo. Is Wari on the call? And then I can walk us through the Walimu Math panel.
Yeah, I'm on the call.
Thank you. Take it away.
Thank you so much. So it's a great afternoon. Happy to be here, and talking about the Problem Solvers League. I thought it was interesting to hear a Daktari talking about the math as a concept and forgiveness 70 times 7. I just remember yesterday I was having to to call him, and I can count the number of times he he forgave me. We had a small what do you call it? A small thing that I just needed to talk to him, and talking about maths have just it just resonated with me. So I'll just go straight to talk about how it's going to look like. So the report is finally what is going to come out, but it starts with registration. And if you can see my screen, please just show me that you can see it. I think it's visible, right? Stacy.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. So same story. We will be using USSD to register, and the people we are calling to do registration is the HOIs and maths teachers. So you would ask, what about myself if I'm not a maths teacher? It's still fine. I would call upon you to go and check it up, play around with it, and once you tap on your phone, that is *483 *117 hash, a menu is going to show up, and the menu is supposed to allow you to, is the same menu we use to register schools, but for now we'll be using the second option, which is PSL registration. And that's where we're going to start from, all of us. So there's an option 2 there on your phone. If you're a HOI, if you're a maths teacher, please take it up from there. Also to mention that the grades that will be participating for the paper that's coming, for now we are talking about grades 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'll just talk about what the registration does in the USSD. USSD is, that's that code *483 *117 hash. That's the USSD code. So it's just the same way you usually go and do your *144 for credit. So this one is *483 *117 hash. What you can do with the PSL registration is you can put in a new registration. You can view existing registration. So new registration means, you have your friend there, or you have, you want to assist somebody who's been struggling or somebody who'd like to join, and you're having such a conversation, you have the ability to put in a new registration for them or for yourself. Then 2 is to view your registration status. Where is it? Are you fully registered? Are you not? 3 is for member schools. So if you're a member school already, just put in your registration using your workspace code. You guys know what a workspace code is. So let me talk about how that registration is used. Depending on the phone that you're using, you might want to just know these two keys. 0 always goes back, and 98 always loads more items on your screen. So that's a good thing to know or to have, so that you don't struggle when you're registering. So the process itself, is like a waterfall. It just trickles down. So I think I'll not dwell too much on that. But we're calling upon you to register today. So I thought it to be important to talk about what happens when you register inside our team, and also what will happen next. So we have a notification on our part that notifies the specific person who is supposed to call you. And what happens is, once you register, somebody will be notified that you have registered, and they will call you shortly. So, once you finish your registration, you should get a text, and somebody will contact you shortly. Now, this is important to tell you because some of us have listed our numbers not to receive, I think, what you call promotional messages. So you might fail to get a text. Once in a while, we have experienced that. But don't worry about that. If that happens, you just complete your registration. You will be contacted. Two things to note is that this is for the last comment from William, is this is for all students. So whether you have, parents, whether you have teachers, if they'd like to get information on this, we would call upon them to follow our channel. That's where we give official communication on PSL and other things that we're doing. So please note this link, bit.ly/Kurasa, and the K is capital. So just follow our WhatsApp channel. That way you'll not miss anything, and it's also easy to to follow us. So I'll also give a contact where you can ask questions. I'll say that the team at Kurasa, I've seen people are quite patient, so they'll be able to listen to you. So as an alternative to USSD, we will have an online registration. Just note that. And what that will do is it will assist those who could be having issues. So if you wanted to check your registration payment, or if it's pending, if it's completed, all of that is on the USSD, but we will have provisions for that on an online page. Now, let me talk about minimum requirements. On the USSD, just for purposes of sanity, we have put a minimum of how many kids you can register per grade. So if you have grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, you have to put a minimum of 10 per grade. And you also have to specify the number of grades that will be participating in your school. So if your school is going up to grade 8, you just put 6, 7, and 8 on your USSD. It will guide you. So the 10 rule, of course, means that if you have 6, 7, and 8, you have a minimum of 30 students per school. That's what we've put as minimum requirements. And then there's a full down payment requirement before confirmation. So all the charges, I think they have been communicated. You'll find them on the USSD. It's quite affordable. So the last thing is, I'd like to say, what next now? So I think it's important to follow the WhatsApp channel. It will be pasted on the Zoom. And then we're also planning to have a daily challenge coming up. So just be on the lookout. Please note this line. This is where you can get support for. This is where you can get support for any queries that you have. If you have a pending registration, something didn't go through, make sure you WhatsApp this line. So there'll always be somebody to respond to you, and you'll get help as soon as possible. Thank you, and back to you, Stacy.
Thank you so much. Seeing you have one question on the chat, maybe you can address it so that anyone else who comes across this knows what's happening.
Thank you. So there is, why does it send a request to send 50K? Wow. Okay. Can you register a learner in international curriculum for this assessment? That is beautiful. Yeah, you can. So if your learner is in the international curriculum, again, what we are doing is mathematics as a concept. So they're welcome to participate for PSL. Just register them. Of course, they will participate for the upcoming daily challenges. And as we've heard, the paper is coming up in next term. So yeah, so by then I'm sure that there will be provision for them. So why does it send a request to send 50K? Dina Konga, thank you. So it does send a request. So that's just it's like a pro forma of what your school, if your school is having, I think 50K at 110 shillings. If I divide that, you've given me a maths problem. So let me get my calculator. So 50K, I think that means you have put 450 children. So if you have 450 children, every child going at around 110 bob would be 50K. And of course, that should be settled before June. I think it's before June, if I got the communication right. I hope that answers your question, Dina in Modoni.
I'll be sure to email her. I think she dropped off the call. But thank you so much, Valerie, for that presentation. Asante sana. So I think for our final bit, because we are over time. Sorry. For our final bit, because we are over time, I'll quickly allow us to also meet the Walimu wa Math panelists who are on the call with us. I know they've been waiting. When they receive the news, we actually let them know by Saturday. So we are still corresponding with them, and hopefully we'll coordinate an orientation. So I'll quickly just call out names. It's worth noting for those who are on the call and applied and maybe did not make it on the shortlist. We started out with an initial application list of 200, which was very impressive. All outstanding individuals, either teaching math or managing a class in various schools. So it was interesting to just read through your applications, at least be able to between William and myself, we're able to just go through that. But the determinant for who ended up as Mwalimu wa Math was actually done by an external evaluator, because we do believe in, making sure that we have the best of the best. So for those who made it, tafadhali mjue, your papers actually excelled. The samples that you sent in, they were ranked very highly. And out of the initial first shortlist of 24, we only have 11 panelists who are joining the Mwalimu wa Math. For those who are not sure what the Mwalimu wa Math panel is, we'll be basically creating the papers that will be done during the PSL challenge, the school-based papers. These papers won't be created by us, but will be created and actually approved by the panel themselves. Something also worth noting is the panel is from various parts of Kenya. We made sure to make sure they're just from all regions and not all counties, but all regions. So we have Kisumu, we have Trans Nzoia, we have Uasin Gishu, we have Kilifi, Kajiado, we have Nyamira, Kakamega, and Kitui. So I will quickly introduce, I can see some of them have their video on, so maybe I'll start with her. But for those who have probably dropped off the call, we'll have a sort of deck shared to everyone who attended this call so that we can also share the recording or the recording link that will be uploaded on YouTube. So maybe we can start with Vivian. Maybe just introduce yourself and the school that you're representing, and then we'll have someone else introduce themselves as we close out. Can you hear us? Okay. You should be able to speak now.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Vivian.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm Nandaro Vivian Adhiambo. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Nandaro Vivian Adhiambo from Central Girls Junior School in Mombasa, Mvita Sub-County.
We are happy to have you as part of us. Asante sana. Next up, we have Charlene Duron.
Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, Charlene, can hear you.
This is Charlene Duron. I'm sorry I can't put my video on at the moment. I am a teacher at Zuri Schools, Naivasha, and I'm happy to be here.
We are happy to have you join us. Next up, we have Samuel Nyaboto.
Hello? Hello?
Hi. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Samuel Nyabuto. Hello?
We
Hello?
can hear you, Samuel. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Samuel Nyabuto from Kisii County, representing Maiga Junior School.
Karibu sana. Next we have Esther Diera.
Hello everyone, I'm Esther Diera. I'm a mathematics and chemistry teacher from Kakamega County, but currently I'm working with African Math Initiative.
Thank you so much for joining us. I think I saw Evans on the call as well. Evans?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Diego. I'm his maths teacher.
Okay, we lost you a bit there, but for those who are not able to capture that, he's from Kisumu West. For the other members of the panel, I'm actually just counter checking. There's some who dropped off, but is John on the call? John Kivala, he's not on the call. So the rest who have not introduced themselves but are part of us, we have Nelson Wandera, John Kivala, Samuel Mokenya. Oh, that's a Samuel Nyabuto. He's already gone ahead. Vivian Adhiambo has also introduced herself. George Otieno, Abel Kuya, Esther Diera, thank you so much for introducing yourself. Evans as well, tumeshukuru. Duncan Siambe. Is Duncan on the call? Okay, he's not on the call, but we'll be able to share images of each of these individuals because they'll be working with us closely. Okay, I'm seeing hands up, but I'm not sure what that means. Yes, Miriam?
Miriam Murray, the head teacher for Julius School. Thank you for what you have taken us through.
We look forward to having you join us in registering for PSL. Okay. The last three on the list is Felista Wamaida, Spears Evans, who has also introduced himself, and Charlene Duron. So makofi sana kwa these walimu who are actually going to be part of the panel and actually going to help us just maintain the quality of mathematics, not just in each of our respective regions, but from a national level. We are now ready to close out the meeting. Please be sure to look out for an email correspondence from us. It's okay, Amos. Go ahead, Amos. Everyone was actually dropping the introductions in the chat, but as we close out, you can proceed as I look out for any questions or AOE from William. Seems to be something happening to your audio, but if there are no questions, I'm just quickly checking the chat. Yes, I'm seeing our panel is broad-based. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there are no other questions. Thank you so much. So please remember to register your school. You dial *483*117#. Please do join the WhatsApp channel. That's where we share all correspondence. We also share updates and we'll be doing PSL challenges to just allow each of us to participate and engage our learners. Beyond that, thank you again for joining us on this call. It's exciting to actually launch officially. It's been a lot of work in the background, starting from maybe early Feb, and we are excited to just walk with you on this journey and make sure Term 2 is a success. There being no other questions, I'll ask William if you'd like to maybe make any closing remarks.
Thank you everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure seeing you. We shall also be together in the respective meetings, in the regional meetings for KEPSHA, KPSA, and all respective meetings. These are our partners. We look forward to fruitful collaboration, and I wish you a wonderful Easter and April holiday. Thank you.
Asante sana. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye. Thank you, John. It was an honor hosting you. Kuwa na siku njema.